Hello and welcome to this slow English listening for beginners. Today's topic is my roots. After the story, I will ask you some questions to check on your understanding. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just focus on the key information. Are you ready? Let's begin. I was born in Chicago. Chicago is a big city in America. It is in the state of Illinois. Chicago has many tall buildings and a beautiful lake called Lake Michigan. My parents are from Sicily, a beautiful island in Italy. It is in the south of the country. When I was a child, my home was special. My mother cooked Sicilian food. We ate pasta, arancini, and cannoli. Arancini are rice balls with cheese inside. Cannoli are sweet pastries with cream. My father spoke Italian at home. He wanted me to remember the language. We had photos of Sicily on our walls. I saw pictures of the blue sea, of the green mountains, and of the old buildings. My mother woke up early every morning. She made coffee in a small pot called mocha. The smell of coffee filled our house. My father read Italian newspapers. He listened to Italian radio. They wanted to keep our culture alive in America. On weekends, we visited my grandparents. They lived in a small apartment in an area of Chicago called Little Italy. Many Italian families lived there. My grandmother told me stories about Sicily. She talked about her childhood in the small village. She showed me how to make traditional food. I learned to make pasta by hand. My grandfather played old Sicilian songs on his guitar. He sang with a deep, warm voice. Sometimes other Italian families came to visit. They brought food and wine. They talked in Italian and laughed a lot. At school, I had American friends. I spoke English with them. I ate hamburgers and pizza. American pizza is different from Italian pizza. I watched American shows. I celebrated American holidays like Thanksgiving and Halloween. I felt American when I was at school. But at home, I felt Sicilian. I learned Italian words. I learned about Sicilian history. Sicily has a long history with many different cultures. My parents said, never forget where you come from. This was very important to them. In the summer, my family went to the beach in Chicago. My parents always said the beaches in Sicily are more beautiful. They showed me pictures of the clear blue water and white sand. I dreamed of seeing these beaches one day. When I was 10 years old, we visited Sicily for the first time. We stayed for 1 month. We visited my aunts, my uncles, and my cousins. They were so happy to see us. They gave us many gifts. We ate big family dinners that lasted for hours. The food was amazing. Fresh vegetables, seafood, and delicious desserts. In Sicily, I saw the places from my parents' stories. I saw the village where my mother was born. I saw the school where my father studied. I saw the church where they got married. Everything felt familiar, even though it was my first visit. After that summer, we visit Sicily every few years. Each time I felt more connected to the island. I loved the warm weather, the friendly people, and the relaxed lifestyle. When I was in high school, some friends asked me about my family. They were interested in my Sicilian roots. I felt proud to be different. I brought Sicilian cookies to school parties. I taught my friends Italian words. They thought that it was cool that I had two cultures. I went to university in Chicago. I studied business. During those years, I became more American. I was very busy with my studies and work. I visited my parents less often. I spoke Italian less frequently, but I still loved Sicilian food and traditions. When I was 30, my parents decided to go back to Sicily. They missed their homeland. They missed the warm weather, the food, and their old friends. They bought a small house in their hometown. I stayed in Chicago. I had a good job there. I visited them every summer. I loved the beaches, the food, and the people. Sicily felt like a second home to me. I started to think about my own identity. Was I American? Was I Sicilian? I felt connected to both places. 5 years ago, I made a big decision. I moved to Sicily too. It was not easy. I had to find a new job. I had to improve my Italian. I had to make new friends. But I felt that that was the right choice for me. Now I live in a small town near Palermo. Palermo is the capital of Sicily. I work as an English teacher. Many people in Sicily want to learn English. I speak Italian every day now. Sometimes I make mistakes, but people are patient with me. I eat fresh local food. fruits and vegetables from local farms, fish from the Mediterranean Sea. My apartment is small, but it has a beautiful view of the sea. In the morning, I drink my coffee on my balcony. I watch the fishermen bring in their boats. In the evening, I walk along the beach. I meet friends at local cafes. Life is slower here than in Chicago, but I enjoy it. I have made many friends in Sicily. Some are locals who have lived here all their lives. Others are people like me who moved here from different countries. We share our experiences and help each other. Sometimes I miss Chicago. I miss the tall buildings. I miss the snow in the winter. I miss the busy streets and the energy of the city. I miss my old friends and my favorite restaurants. When I feel homesick, I call my friends in America or make American food at home. But Sicily feels like home now. The local people call me the American, but they accept me as part of their community. I understand my roots better now. I see why my parents and grandparents loved this island so much. I appreciate the history, the traditions, and the values. I am both American and Sicilian. My two cultures make me who I am. I speak two languages. I know two different ways of life. I can see the world from two perspectives. This is a special gift. In the future, I want to create a small business that connects America and Sicily. Maybe a shop that sells Sicilian products in America, or a service that helps America discover Sicily. I want to be a bridge between my two homes. Every morning, I wake up grateful for my journey. I am grateful for my parents who kept their traditions alive. I am grateful for my two homes and my two cultures. I am grateful for the chance to understand my roots and grow new ones. Now, let's check on your understanding. Answer these questions. Where was I born? I was born in Chicago, in America. Where is Sicily? Sicily is a beautiful island in the south of Italy. What's my job now? I work as an English teacher. Why did my parents move back to Sicily? They missed their homeland, the warm weather, the food, and their old friends. How do I feel about having two cultures? I feel it is a special gift to have two cultures. I can speak two languages and see the world from two perspectives. If you have answered correctly to all the questions, you have done a very good job. Keep working and see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, and welcome to this slow English listening for beginners. Today's topic is my favorite film, Dirty Dancing. After the story, I will ask you some questions to check on your understanding. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just focus on the key information. Are you ready? Let's begin. My favorite film is Dirty Dancing. It is an American film from 1987. I first watched it when I was a teenager. Now I am 40 years old and I still love this film. Dirty Dancing is a love story. It takes place in the summer of 1963. The story happens at a holiday resort called Kellersman's. A resort is a place where people go for vacation. Kellersman's is in the mountains in a place called the Catskills in New York. The main character is a young woman named Frances Houseman. Everyone calls her Baby. She is 17 years old. Baby goes on vacation with her family. Her father, her mother, and her older sister Lisa. Her father is a doctor. He is a good man who wants to help people. Her mother is a kind woman who loves her family. Her sister Lisa likes fashion and boys. Baby is different from her sister. She is interested in serious things. She wants to study economics and help poor countries. She is intelligent and kind. At the resort, Baby meets a dance teacher called Johnny Castle. Johnny is 25 years old. He has dark hair and is very handsome. Johnny teaches dance to the guests during the day. The guests are rich people who come to the resort for vacation. One night, Baby follows Billy, who works at the resort, to a secret party. This party is for the staff, the people who work at the resort. They are not rich like the guests. At this party, Baby sees different kind of dancing. The staff dance very close to each other. Their bodies move with the music in a sensual way. Johnny calls it dirty dancing. This dancing is very different from the formal dances that the guests do. Baby is fascinated by this dancing. She watches Johnny dance with his partner, Benny Johnson. Penny is a beautiful woman with blonde hair. She and Johnny dance wonderfully together. A few days later, Baby learns that Penny has a problem. Penny is pregnant. The father of the baby is a waiter named Robbie. Robbie does not want to help Penny. Penny needs money for the doctor. She also needs to miss a dancing show at another resort. This show is important because it pays a lot of money. Baby wants to help Penny. First, she asks her father for money without telling him why. Then she offers to learn to dance and replace Penny in the show. Johnny thinks this is a bad idea because Baby does not know how to dance like them. But they don't have another option. Johnny begins to teach Baby how to dance. They practice in his cabin, in the studio, and even in a lake. The training is hard. Baby must learn many difficult steps. At first, she is not good at dancing. She steps on Johnny's feet and forgets the steps. But Johnny is patient with her. He is a good teacher. As they practice together every day, something beautiful happens. Baby and Johnny start to fall in love. Baby likes Johnny's passion for dance and his kind heart. Johnny likes that Baby is different from other rich girls. She cares about people and wants to help. The day of the show arrives. Baby and Johnny travel to another resort to perform. Baby is very nervous, but Johnny helps her feel confident. Their dance is not perfect, but they complete it. When they return to Kellerman's, they learn that the doctor Baby's father recommended for Penny did not do a good job. Penny is in pain. Baby runs to get her father to help Penny. Dr. Houseman helps Penny, but he is angry with Baby. He thinks Johnny is responsible for Penny's pregnancy. He tells Baby to stay away from Johnny and the staff. Baby obeys her father during the day, but at night she secretly goes to Johnny. Their love grows stronger. They spend more time together. Johnny teaches Baby more about dance and about his life. Baby helps Johnny believe in himself and his dreams. One night, Johnny's friend is in trouble. The police come to the resort to arrest him. Johnny has an alibi. He was with Baby all night. Baby confirms this to her father and everyone. But now Dr. Houseman knows that Baby disobeyed him. He is very disappointed in her. Johnny loses his job at the resort because the manager, Mr. Kellerman, does not want him to have relationships with guests. Johnny decides to leave the resort. Baby is very sad. She thinks she will never see Johnny again. The summer is ending. Kellerman's has a big final show on the last night. All the guests and the staff attend. Baby sits with her family, feeling sad because Johnny is gone. But then something amazing happens. Johnny comes back to the resort. He walks into the hall during the final show. He goes to Baby's table and says the famous line, "Nobody puts Baby in a corner." This means that nobody should make Baby sit quietly in the background. She deserves to be seen and heard. Johnny takes Baby to the stage. He tells everyone that she helped him believe in himself. He wants to do the last dance of the season with her. They begin to dance to a song called "The Time of My Life." Their dance is beautiful and passionate. They do all the steps perfectly, including the difficult lift where Johnny holds Baby above his head. Everyone watches in amazement, including Baby's family. Her father finally sees how special Johnny is and how happy he makes Baby. After the dance, Dr. Houseman apologizes to Johnny. He understands that he was wrong about him. The film ends with everyone dancing together, the guests and the staff, rich and poor, all dancing as one group. I love Dirty Dancing for many reasons. First, it tells a beautiful love story between two people from different worlds. Johnny and Baby learn from each other and grow together. Second, the film has amazing music. Songs like "Time of My Life," "Hungry Eyes," "She's Like the Wind." The dancing is also incredible. Patrick Swayze, who plays Johnny, was a real dancer, and he moves with such grace and power. The film also talks about important social issues like class differences, women's rights, and personal freedom. But it does this in a way that is entertaining and moving. Every time I watch Dirty Dancing, I feel happy. It reminds me of my teenage years when I first fell in love. It makes me want to dance. I have watched this film more than 20 times, and I still enjoy it every time. I even took dancing lessons because of this film. I wanted to learn to dance like Baby. The dancing was hard, but fun. I never managed to do the famous lift, though. It is too difficult. Dirty Dancing is more than just a film for me. It is part of my life. It shows that with love, courage, and hard work, you can overcome obstacles and find happiness. Now, let's check on your understanding. Answer these questions. Who are the two main characters in Dirty Dancing? The two main characters in Dirty Dancing are Baby, Francis Houseman, and John Castle. Where does the story take place? The story takes place at Kellerman's Resort in the Catskills Mountains in New York. Why does Baby need to learn to dance with Johnny? Baby needs to learn to dance with Johnny because Penny is pregnant and cannot perform in an important show. Baby offers to replace her. What does Johnny say when he comes back at the end of the film? Johnny says, "Nobody puts Baby in a corner." Why do I love this film? I love this film because it tells a beautiful love story between people from different worlds. It has amazing music and dancing. And it discusses important social issues in an entertaining way. If you have answered correctly to all the questions, you have done a very good job. Keep working and see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, and welcome to this slow English listening for beginners. Today's topic is my favorite dish, Sicilian baked pasta. After the story, I will ask you some questions to check on your understanding. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just focus on the key information. Are you ready? Let's begin. I love this dish very much. It brings back so many wonderful memories from my childhood. And now I make it for my own family. I first learned about this amazing dish when I was a girl. My grandmother was from Sicily, a beautiful island in the south of Italy. She moved to our city when she was young, but she always kept her Sicilian traditions, especially in the cooking. Every Sunday, our whole family would go to her small house for lunch. And almost always, she made her special baked pasta. I remember waking up on Sunday mornings and feeling so excited. I knew we would visit Grandma that day. My parents, my brother, and I would get dressed in our nice clothes. Then we would drive to Grandma's house. Even before we opened the door, we could smell the wonderful aroma of her cooking. Grandma's kitchen was not very big, but it was always warm and full of delicious smells. She had an old wooden table in the middle of the room. When we arrived, She was usually busy at the stove. She wore a simple blue apron with small flowers on it. Her face was always happy when she saw us. "Come in," she would say with her special accent. Then she would give us all big hugs and kisses on both cheeks. My brother and I would run to look at the oven. We wanted to see if the baked pasta was ready. Now, let me tell you about this wonderful dish. Sicilian baked pasta, or pasta al forno siciliana in Italian. This is a very special and traditional dish. It is not just a simple pasta with sauce. No, it is more complex and rich. The dish is actually quite simple to prepare, but very delicious. First, you need pasta, usually anelletti. This type of pasta is perfect because they hold the sauce well. Then you need a good tomato sauce with meat. I like to use beef in my sauce, just like my grandmother did. But some people also use pork or a mixture of different meats. The sauce is very important. My grandmother taught me to start with olive oil, garlic, and onions. You cook them until they're soft and golden. Then you add the meat and cook it well. After that, you add tomatoes, a little bit of sugar to reduce acidity, salt, pepper, and herbs like basil. The sauce needs to cook slowly for at least 1 hour. This way, all the flavors mix together perfectly. But the most important part of Sicilian baked pasta is the cheese. You need 2 types of cheese, mozzarella and parmesan. The mozzarella becomes melted and streaky. The parmesan gives a strong, salty flavor. Some people also add a third cheese called caciocavallo, which is a traditional Sicilian cheese, but it can be hard to find in other countries. Another special ingredient in my grandmother's recipe was eggplant. She would cut eggplants into small cubes, fry them until they were golden, and then add them to the pasta. The eggplants give a sweet, unique flavor that makes the dish truly Sicilian. Some versions of this dish also include peas, hard-boiled eggs, and even ham or salami. My grandmother sometimes added these ingredients, especially for special occasions like Easter or Christmas. But her everyday version was simpler. To make this dish, I first cook the pasta in a large pot of salted water. It's important not to cook it for too long because it will continue to cook in the oven. We call this al dente in Italian, which means the pasta is cooked but still a bit firm. After draining the pasta, I mix about a half of the tomato sauce and some of the cheese in the large bowl. Then I prepare a big baking pan. I put a little of the sauce on the bottom of the pan so the pasta doesn't stick. Then I add half of the pasta mixture. On the top of that, I put a layer of sliced mozzarella, small spoonfuls of grated Parmesan. If I'm using eggplants or ingredients ingredients, I add them in this layer too. After that, I add the rest of the pasta and cover everything with the remaining sauce. On top, I put more mozzarella and Parmesan cheese. On the top layer, cheese will become golden and slightly crispy in the oven, which gives a wonderful contrast to the soft pasta underneath. Then I put in the oven at about 307 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius for approximately 30 minutes. I know it's ready when the top is golden brown and the edges are bubbling. When the pasta comes out of the oven, it's important to let it rest for about 10 minutes. This makes it easier to serve and it won't be too hot to eat. The smell that fills the house is absolutely amazing. A mix of tomatoes, cheese, and herbs that makes everyone hungry. The moment of cutting into the baked pasta is special. You can see all the layers, the melted cheese that stretches as you lift each piece, and the rich sauce. The top is a little bit crispy, and the inside is soft and warm. Each bite has so many flavors. The tangy tomato sauce, the rich cheese, the pasta that has absorbed all the wonderful tastes. Just like my grandmother, I usually make this dish on Sundays. It has become a tradition in my family too. My children love it as much as I did when I was their age. They often help me prepare it. My daughter likes to grate the cheese, and my son helps me mix the pasta with the sauce. It's a nice way to spend time together and teach them about cooking. When we sit down to eat, we always have a big green salad after the pasta. The fresh, crisp salad is perfect. We also have fresh bread to clean our plates after we finish. We don't want to waste any of that delicious sauce. My husband says I make the baked pasta almost as well as my grandmother did. I take this as a big compliment because my grandmother was an amazing cook. I still remember her hands, quick and sure as she prepared the ingredients. She never used recipes or measuring cups. She knew exactly how much each ingredient to use just by looking and feeling. I have tried to teach my children the same way. Cooking is not just about following a recipe. It's also about understanding the ingredients, knowing how they work together, and adjusting as needed. It's about cooking with love and patience. My grandmother passed away 10 years ago, but her recipes and traditions live on in our family. Every time I make her baked pasta, I feel like she's with us. Food has this special power to connect us with our past and with the people we love. In Sicily, food is more than just nutrition. It's a way to show love, to bring people together, and to celebrate life. Meals are not rushed. People take time to enjoy food and company. This is something I try to maintain in my family, even though our lives are often busy and hectic. When friends visit our home, I often make Sicilian baked pasta for them. It's always a success. People ask for the recipe, and I happily share it. But I always tell them that the most important ingredient is love. You need to take your time and enjoy the process of cooking. I have tried many versions of baked pasta in restaurants, but none of them taste as good as homemade. Maybe it's because they don't have memories and love that go into the dish when I make it at home. Another thing I love about this dish is that it's perfect for big gatherings. You can prepare it in advance and just put it in the oven when your guests arrive. It's also great as leftovers. Sometimes I think it tastes even better the next day. In summer, I sometimes make a lighter version with fresh tomato instead of sauce and add zucchini and bell peppers. In winter, I make a richer version with more meat and cheese. It's a versatile dish that can be adapted to different seasons and occasions. Cooking traditional recipes like Sicilian baked pasta is a way to keep our cultural heritage alive. It connects me to my roots, to my grandmother's homeland, even though I have only visited Sicily a few times. Through food, I feel a connection to generations of women in my family who cooked these dishes before me. I hope that when my children grow up, they will continue this tradition. Maybe they will add their own touches to the recipe, and that's okay. Recipes evolve over time, just like families do. But the essence of the dish and the love that goes into making it should remain the same. So, that's the story of my favorite dish, Sicilian baked pasta. It's more than food to me. It's a memory of my grandmother, a tradition in my family, and a way to show love to the people I care about. Every time I eat it, I feel happy and at home. Now, let's check on your understanding. Answer these questions. Where did my grandmother come from? My grandmother came from Sicily, an island in the south of Italy. What are the two main types of cheese used in Sicilian baked pasta? The two main types of cheese used are mozzarella and parmesan. Why do I cook the pasta for a shorter time than usual? Because the pasta will continue to cook in the oven. On which day of the week do I usually make this dish? On Sundays, just like my grandmother did. What is the most important ingredient for me in this recipe? The most important ingredient is love. If you have answered correctly to all the questions, you have done a good job. Keep working and see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, and welcome to this slow English listening for beginners. Today's topic is From My Window. After the story, I will ask you some questions to check on your understanding. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just focus on the key information. Are you ready? Let's begin. I live in a small town near Palermo in Sicily. My house is old, but I love it. It belonged to my grandmother, and I have lived there for 15 years now. From my window, I can see many things. First, I can see a small garden. In my garden, there are 3 lemon trees. The lemons are big and yellow. I use them to make limoncello, a special Italian drink. I also grow tomatoes, basil, and rosemary. In spring, I plant beautiful red flowers. Their name in Italian is geraniums in English. Next to my garden, there's a little square. In Italy, they call it piazza. In the morning, many people come to the square. Old men sit on benches and talk about politics, football, and the weather. They drink espresso from small cups. Children play with balls and ride bicycles. Sometimes there is a man who sells fruit and vegetables from his truck. His name is Giuseppe, and he comes every Tuesday and Friday. He has the best oranges in town. I can also see a church. It is old, maybe 300 years old. The church has a big clock tower. Every hour the bell rings. I can hear it clearly from my window. On Sunday mornings, many people go to church. They wear nice clothes and carry prayer books. After church, they often stop at a small cafe for coffee or ice cream. Behind the church, I can see the mountains. They are beautiful, especially at sunset when they look red and orange. In the winter, sometimes there is snow on the top of the mountains. In summer, they look dry and brown. Many people from town go hiking on these mountains on weekends. In the distance, I can see some houses. They are all different colors: white, yellow, pink, and blue. Many houses have flowers on their balconies. Some have small vegetable gardens on their roof. This is typical in Sicily. Most houses have satellite dishes for television. At night, I can see the lights in the windows. When it's summer, I can see the sea. It's far, but on clear days, I can see the blue water shining in the sun. Sometimes I can even see small boats. In July and August, many tourists come to our beaches. They swim, sunbathe, and eat ice cream. The water is warm and clean. I love sitting by my window in the morning with a cup of coffee. I watch people go to work or school. I see my neighbors walking their dogs. Sometimes my neighbor Maria waves from her window across the street. She is an old lady, maybe 80 years old, and she makes the best cannoli in town. Maria has a cat named Luna. Luna is black and white. She likes to sit on Maria's windowsill and watch the birds. Sometimes I see other animals too: dogs, birds, and occasionally a fox that comes from the mountains at night. The weather in my town is usually warm. In summer, it's hot, sometimes 40 degrees Celsius. I keep my windows open at night to catch the cool breeze from the sea. In winter, it rains a lot, but it rarely snows. When it does snow, all the children play in the square and build snowmen. Across the square, there's a small shop that sells bread. The baker, Antonio, starts work very early at 4 o'clock in the morning. I can smell the fresh bread when I open my window. Next to the baker, there is a pharmacy and a small supermarket. On Saturdays, there is a market in the square. People sell clothes, shoes, bags, and local products like cheese, olive oil, and honey. It's very busy and noisy. I like to buy fresh cheese and olives from the market. Sometimes I buy flowers for my house too. Near my house, there is a primary school. I can hear the children playing in the schoolyard during their break time. They laugh and shout and play games. The school bell rings at 8:30 in the morning and again at 1:30 in the afternoon when school finishes. In the evening, young people meet in the square. They talk, they laugh, and they eat ice cream. In summer, there are often small concerts or festivals in the square. People play traditional Sicilian music and dance. From my window, I can also see the bus stop. The bus comes 4 times a day. In the morning, at noon, in the afternoon, and in the evening. It goes to Palermo, the big city. Many people take this bus to go to work or to go shopping. At night, the town is quiet. I can see the stars and sometimes the moon from my window. The street lights make the square look magical. Sometimes I hear music from a small restaurant near the church. People eat dinner there, drink wine, and enjoy the evening. In autumn, I see the leaves changing colors and falling from the trees. The mountains look beautiful with red, orange, and yellow colors. People in my town collect mushrooms and chestnuts from the forest on the mountains. In my town, everybody knows everybody. When people pass by my window, they often say buongiorno, good morning, or buonasera, good evening to me. I like this friendly atmosphere. It makes me feel at home. My window is a connection to the world. I see seasons change, people come and go, festivals and celebration. I can see life happening in my small town. And even though it's a small place, there is always something interesting to see from my window. Now, let's check on your understanding. Answer these questions. Where do I live? I live in a small town near Palermo in Sicily. What do I grow in my garden? I have lemon trees, tomatoes, basil, rosemary, and geraniums. How often does Giuseppe come to sell fruit and vegetables? He comes twice a week, every Tuesday and Friday. What can I see in the distance on clear days? I can see the sea and sometimes small boats. What happens in the square on Saturdays? There is a market where people sell clothes, shoes, bags, and local products. Okay, if you have answered correctly to all the questions, you have done a good job. Keep working and see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, and welcome to this slow English listening for beginners. Today's topic is my favorite TV series. This Is Us. After the story, I will ask you some questions to check on your understanding. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just focus on the key information. Are you ready? Let's begin. This Is Us is an American family drama. The series tells the story of the Pearson family. There are three main characters: Kevin, Kate, and Randall. They are siblings. The series also shows their parents, Jack and Rebecca. The series started in 2016. It has 6 seasons in total. Each season has about 18 episodes. Each episode is about 45 minutes long. The final episode was in 2022. I was very sad when the series ended. It was like saying goodbye to my friends. Let me tell you more about the characters. Jack Pearson is the father. He is very kind and loving. He always tries to be the best father and husband. He works in construction, but dreams of starting his own company. Jack has a difficult relationship with his own father, who was not kind to him when he was young. This makes Jack want to be a better father to his children. Rebecca is the mother. She is strong and supportive. She loves music and wanted to be a singer when she was young. Rebecca comes from a wealthy family, but she chooses love over money when she marries Jack. Their love story is beautiful, but not perfect. They face many challenges in their marriage. Kevin is one of the triplets. He is handsome and becomes a famous actor in the series. He stars in a popular TV series called The Manny. Later, he acts in movies and plays. He has many problems with relationships and alcohol. Kevin struggles to find a meaning in his life beyond his good looks and fame. He often feels like he's not special as his siblings. Kate is Kevin's sister. She struggles with her weight and self-confidence. But she is a very kind and has a beautiful singing voice like her mother. Kate works different jobs throughout the series. She eventually becomes a music teacher for children. She meets her husband Toby at a supportive group for people with weight issues. Their relationship has many ups and downs. Randall is their brother. He is very smart and works hard. He was adopted on the day the triplets were born because one of the triplets died during birth. Randall is black, while the rest of the Pearson family is white. This creates some identity issues for him growing up. He becomes a successful businessman, but suffers from anxiety attacks. Later in the series, he becomes interested in politics. The story moves between different time periods. We see the family in the 80s when the children are young. We see them as teenagers in the 90s. And we see them as adults in the present day. This is very interesting because we can see how past events affect their adult lives. The series also sometimes goes back to Jack and Rebecca's early relationship in the 70s. It even shows scenes from the grandparents' lives. I started watching This Is Us when my friend recommended it to me. I remember the first episode very well. It had a surprising twist at the end. We discover that the stories we are watching are from 3 different time periods. After that, I was hooked. I couldn't wait to watch more episodes. My husband was not interested in the series at first. He thought it was just another family drama. But one day, he watched an episode with me. And he also became a fan. Now, we have watched all 6 seasons together. Sometimes we talk about the characters like they are real people. We often discuss what we would do in their situations. My favorite character is Rebecca. She is the mother. She is strong and loving. She has many problems, but she always puts her family first. I think she is like me. I also try to be a good mother with my children. In the later seasons, Rebecca gets sick. She has Alzheimer's disease. This part of the story is very sad, but also very real. Many families deal with this illness. This series portrays her decline in a sensitive and realistic way. Jack is also an amazing character. In the early episodes, we learn that Jack is no longer alive in the present day, but we don't know how he died. This mystery is revealed slowly over several seasons. Jack's death is a traumatic event that affects each family member differently. Even years later, they still feel his absence strongly. My favorite episode is when the family celebrates Thanksgiving. They have many traditions. One tradition is that everyone says what they are thankful for. Another tradition involves a special game. This reminds me of my own family. We also share what we are grateful for during special occasions and have our own holiday traditions. Another memorable episode is called Super Bowl Sunday. This episode finally reveals how Jack died. Many fans cried while watching it. I know I did. The episode shows how a small accident can change a family forever. The series also deals with serious topics. It talks about adoption, race, obesity, anxiety, and death. But it also shows happy moments like weddings, births, and family holidays. I think this balance is why so many people love the series. It feels like real life with both sad and happy moments. Randall's storyline addresses racial identity in America. As a Black child adopted by a white family, he faces unique challenges. In one episode, Randall and his biological father, William, discuss what it means to be Black in America. These conversations are educational and moving. Kate's storyline focuses on her struggle with weight and self-esteem. She tries different diets and exercise programs. She even goes to a weight loss camp. But the series makes it clear that her weight is just one part of who she is. She is also a loving sister, a talented singer, and eventually a good mother. Kevin's storyline explores addiction and recovery. He becomes dependent on pain medication after an injury. This leads to alcohol abuse as well. We see him hit rock bottom and then slowly rebuild his life. His journey shows that recovery is not a straight line, but a process with setbacks and progress. The music in This Is Us is also beautiful. The soundtrack makes the emotional scenes more powerful. I often listen to the songs from the series when I drive to work. My favorite song from the series is called We Can Always Come Back to This. It is a song that Jack and Rebecca dance to in one episode. The music is created by a composer, Siddhartha Khosla, who does an amazing job capturing the emotions of each scene. The actors in This Is Us are very talented. Milo Ventimiglia plays Jack. Mandy Moore plays Rebecca. Sterling K. Brown plays Randall. Justin Hartley plays Kevin. And Chrissy Metz plays Kate. They all do an amazing job making their characters feel real. The child actors who play the younger version of the character are also very good. It's impressive how they capture the same mannerisms as the adult characters. This series has won many awards. Sterling K. Brown won an Emmy Award for his role as Randall. The series was also nominated for Best Drama Series several times. Mandy Moore received praise for her portrayal of Rebecca at different ages, from her 20s to her 80s. The makeup and the costume teams did an incredible job making her look authentic at each age. One thing I love about This Is Us is that it shows a normal family. The persons are not perfect. They make mistakes. They argue, but also love each other very much. They support each other through good times and bad times. This feels very true to life. They don't always solve their problems quickly or easily, which is realistic. The series also explores different parenting styles. Jack is more fun and spontaneous with the children. Rebecca is more practical and organized. Neither approach is shown as perfect. Both have strengths and weaknesses. As a parent myself, I appreciate this honest picture of parenting challenges. The series also shows how childhood experiences shape adult behavior. For example, Randall's fear of abandonment comes from being left at a fire station as a baby. Kate's issues with food begins when she is young and uses eating for comfort after Jack's death. Kevin's need for attention stems from feeling overlooked as a child. This Is Us is also a picture of marriage. Jack and Rebecca love each other deeply, but they face serious problems. They argue about money, parenting decisions, and career choices. In one season, they even separate temporarily, but they work through their issues and remain committed to each other. Other marriages in the series also have ups and downs. The series also teaches important lesson. It shows how small decisions can change our lives forever. It teaches us to appreciate our family. It reminds us that life is short and we should make the most every day. One recurring theme is the importance of being present in the moment and not taking time with loved ones for granted. Another lesson from the series is the power of forgiveness. Many characters must learn to forgive others and themselves. Randall forgives his biological father for abandoning him. Kevin forgives himself for his past mistakes. Rebecca forgives her own mother for being so critical. These stories of forgiveness are very touching. I often cry when I watch This Is Us. Some episodes are very emotional, but I also laugh a lot. The writers are good at mixing humor with serious moments. This makes the series feel balanced. The final scene of the series is particularly meaningful. It shows Randall with his daughter, who is expecting a baby. This mirrors the first episode where Jack and Rebecca were expecting their triplets. The circle of life continues, and family stories go on across generations. Since This Is Us ended, I have been looking for another series to watch, but it's hard to find something as good. One thing that made This Is Us special was its structure. The way it moved between time periods was original and kept the viewers engaged. If you haven't watched This Is Us yet, I highly recommend it. It is not a difficult series to understand. The language is clear, and the stories are about universal feelings that everyone can relate to. You might need tissues because it will make you cry. Don't be surprised if you find yourself emotionally invested in these characters very quickly. I think watching this TV series, This Is Us, is also a good way to learn English. You can hear how Americans speak in everyday situations. You can learn new words and expressions. And because the stories are interesting, you will want to keep watching and learning. The characters speak at a normal pace and they use common vocabulary that is not too difficult to understand. Another benefit of watching This Is Us for English learners is that it shows American culture and traditions. You can see how American families celebrate holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas. You can learn about American schools, workplaces, and homes. This cultural knowledge is valuable when learning a new language. Finally, This Is Us is more than just a TV series to me. It's a story that has touched my heart and made me think about my own family relationships. It has made me laugh and cry. If you decide to watch it, I would love to hear what you think about it. Now, let's check on your understanding. Answer these questions. What genre is This Is Us? Is it a comedy, a drama, or an action series? It is a drama. Describe the three main siblings in this family and one challenge each of them faces. The three siblings are Kevin, Kate, and Randall. Kevin is handsome and becomes a famous actor, but struggles with relationship and alcohol addiction. Kate struggles with her weight and self-confidence issues. Randall is very smart, but deals with anxiety and identity issues as a Black child adopted by a white family. How does the series This Is Us present its timeline? The series moves between different time periods. Series seeing the family in the 80s when the children are young, as teenagers in the 90s, and as adults in the present day. What health problem does Rebecca develop in the later seasons? Rebecca develops Alzheimer's disease. What makes This Is Us a good series for learning English? This is a good series for learning English because viewers can hear how Americans speak every day in everyday situations. They learn new words and expressions, and the stories are interesting. This motivates viewers to continue watching the series. If you have answered correctly to all the questions, you have done a very good job. Keep working and see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to this slow English listening for beginners. Today's topic is my favorite book, 100 Years of Solitude. After the story, I will ask you some questions to check on your understanding. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just focus on the key information. Are you ready? Let's begin. My real passion has always been reading. Today, I want to share with you my thoughts about my all-time favorite book, 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I first discovered this amazing book when I was 17 years old. It was a special gift from my mother for my birthday. I remember opening the package and seeing the beautiful cover with its vibrant colors. My mother told me it was a book that changed her life when she was young. and she wanted to share this magical experience with me. At that time, I didn't know this book would become so important to me. 100 Years of Solitude was published in 1967. Gabriel Garcia Marquez was a Colombian writer who won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1982. He is famous for his style called magical realism, which mixes everyday life with magical elements. This makes the stories very special and different from other books. The book tells the story of the Buendia family over 7 generations. They live in a small town isolated called Macondo, which Garcia Marquez created for this story. The town of Macondo starts as a simple place, but grows and changes over the years, just like the family does. The story begins with José Arcadio Buendia and his wife Ursula. They are the founders of the town and the first generation of the family. José Arcadio is a curious and imaginative man who is always interested in new inventions and ideas. Ursula is a strong, practical woman who keeps the family together through many difficulties. One of the things that makes this book challenging but also fascinating is that many characters have similar names. For example, there are several men named José Arcadio and several named Aureliano throughout the generations. This can be confusing, but it also shows how traits and characteristics are passed down through families, which is one of the main themes of the book. The Buendia family experiences many events throughout the story. There are moments of great joy and terrible sadness. They fall in love. They fight wars. They build businesses, and they face their own personal struggles. Through it all, there is a sense of destiny or fate that allows the family as if their lives were already written in an ancient manuscript. What I love most about this book is the magical elements that appear throughout the story. These are not like fairy tales or fantasy stories. Instead, they are presented as normal parts of everyday life. For example, a character named Remedios, the beauty is so pure and beautiful that one day she simply floats into the sky while folding sheets in the garden. In another part of the book, it rains yellow flowers for days after an important character dies. These magical moments make the story feel dreamlike and special. The book also shows the history of Colombia and Latin America in a symbolic way. There are civil wars, economic changes, and arrival of foreign companies that exploit the local resources. One famous scene described the massacre of workers that was hidden from public knowledge, which refers to real historical events. Markets uses the story of one family to tell the larger story of the country and the continent. When I first read this book, I found it challenging. There were many characters to keep track of, and the story doesn't always follow a straight timeline. Sometimes it jumps forward or backward in time, but I couldn't stop reading because the world of Macondo felt so real and magical at the same time. I stayed up late for several nights, completely absorbed in the story. I think what makes this book so powerful is how it explores universal themes like love, family, power, and solitude. The title itself, 100 Years of Solitude, points to one of the main ideas in the book, that we all experience loneliness in our lives, even when we are surrounded by family. Many characters in the story feel isolated or misunderstood, unable to connect deeply with others. There are many love stories in the book, some beautiful and some tragic. Some characters find true love, while others are consumed by obsession and passion. The author shows all the different ways that love can shape our lives, both positively and negatively. The language in the book is beautiful and poetic. Even though I read it in English translation, it was originally written in Spanish. I could feel the power and the beauty of the writing. The author describes things in such a vivid detail that you can almost see, smell, touch the world he creates. His descriptions of tropical environment of Macondo makes the setting come alive. One of my favorite passages describes the plague of insomnia that affects the entire town. People cannot sleep and gradually begin to lose their memories. They start to label things with its names so they won't forget what things are called. This part of the book shows how important memory is to our identity and our sense of reality. Another memorable character is Melquiades, a mysterious gypsy who brings inventions and knowledge to Macondo. He leaves behind manuscripts written in a secret code that nobody can understand. Only at the end of the book do we learn that these manuscripts actually contain the entire history of the Buendia family, written before it happened. This creates an interesting circle in the story, where the beginning and the end are connected. I have read this book 5 times now. I first read it at 17 years old, then again at 30, 33, 36, and just last year at 41. Each time I read it, I discover something new that I hadn't noticed before. This book has influenced some aspects of my life. It has made me more curious of my own family history and stories of my ancestors. It has also given me love for Latin American literature and culture. After reading it last year, I became interested in learning Spanish, and I've been taking Spanish classes. My dream is to one day read this book in its original Spanish version, to experience the author's words exactly as he wrote them. The book has also taught me to look for magic in everyday life. Not supernatural magic, but the small moments of wonder and beauty that we often overlook. I've learned to pay more attention to the stories people tell and the ways the past events shape our present lives. I often recommend this book to my friends, but with a warning. It's not easy to read at first. You need to be patient and give yourself time to enter in the world of Macondo and get to know the Buendia family. But if you do, you will be rewarded with one of the most extraordinary reading experiences of your life. I'm curious to know if any of you have ever read this book or any books written by this author. If you haven't, I highly recommend giving it a try. It might change the way you see literature and storytelling, just as it did for me. Now, let's check on your understanding. Answer these questions. What is the name of the book's author? The author's name is Gabriel Garcia Marquez. In what town does the story take place? The story takes place in Macondo. How old was I when I first read the book? I was 17 years old. What literary style is Garcia Marquez famous for? Magical realism. What is my dream related to this book? To read the book in its original Spanish language. If you have answered correctly to all the questions, you have done a good job. Keep working and see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, and welcome to this slow English listening for beginners. Today's topic is my favorite song. After the story, I will ask you some questions to check on your understanding. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just focus on the key information. I suggest you listen to this video carefully at least 3 times to improve your understanding skills. Are you ready? Let's begin. My favorite song is Perfect by Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran is a singer from England. He is very famous. I first heard this song when it came out. I was in my car driving to school. The song played on the radio. I liked it immediately. The melody is so beautiful. When I got home, I looked for the song on my computer. I listened to it many times. Perfect is from Ed Sheeran's album called Divide. This album came out in 2017. The song is about love. Ed Sheeran wrote this song for his girlfriend, Cherry Seaborn. They were childhood friends. They went to school together. Later, they fell in love and got married. Isn't it romantic? Ed Sheeran said he wrote the song at a party in James Blunt's house. James Blunt is another English singer. Ed was in the garden very early in the morning. He was playing the guitar. The song came to him quickly. He said he knew this song was very special. Did you know that Perfect was actually one of the first songs Ed wrote for his Divide album? He said this in an interview. He knew it would be an important song on the album. And he was right. It became one of his biggest hits ever. Ed Sheeran and Cherry Seaborn have known each other since they were 11 years old. They went to the same school in England, but they didn't start dating until many years later, in 2015. Ed invited Jerry to a party at Taylor Swift's house. That's where their love story really began. He proposed to Cherry in December 2017. He asked her to marry him at their home. Then they got married in a small ceremony in December 2018. Only 40 close friends and family were there. It was very private and simple. Now they have a daughter named Lyra, born in 2020, and another daughter named Jupiter, born in 2022. In the song, Ed Sheeran sings about dancing with his perfect love under the stars. He says she looks beautiful in her dress. He says he found a woman stronger than anyone he knows. These words are so romantic. The music video for Perfect is set in the snow at a ski resort in Austria. They dance in the snow. They go skiing. The video is very beautiful, just like the song. They filmed in 2017. I love how they dance under the stars, just like in the song. When Perfect was released, it was very successful. It reached #1 in many countries, including the United Kingdom and the United States. Then something interesting happened. Ed made new versions of the song with other famous singers. He sang a perfect duet with Beyoncé. He sang Perfect Symphony with Andrea Bocelli, an Italian opera singer. The version with Andrea Bocelli has parts in Italian. The Perfect Duet with Beyoncé was released in December 2017. Beyoncé's beautiful voice adds something special to the song. In this version, they changed some of the words to make a conversation between a man and a woman. Beyoncé sings the second verse and then they sing together. Many people love this romantic duet version. The Perfect Symphony with Andrea Bocelli came out just before Christmas in 2017. In this beautiful version, Andrea Bocelli sings in Italian. The Italian part translates the English words of the song. They recorded this version with a full orchestra. It sounds very classical and elegant. Ed Sheeran said that Perfect was inspired by a romantic trip he took with Cherry to Ibiza, a beautiful island in Spain. They were there at night and the sky was full of stars. They danced under the stars with no music. Ed remembers this moment as perfect. That's why he wrote this beautiful song. The lyrics of Perfect are simple but romantic. Let me tell you about some of the words in the song. In the first verse, Ed sings, "I found a love for me." This means he found the perfect person to love. Then he says, "Darling, just dive right in and follow my lead." This means he wants his love to trust him and go on a journey with him. In the chorus, Ed sings, "Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song." This creates a beautiful picture in our minds. Can you imagine dancing outside at night with someone you love? It sounds romantic. Then he says, "I have faith in what I see. Now I know I have met an angel in person and she looks perfect." These words show how much he thinks his love is special and beautiful, just like an angel. In the second verse, Ed says, "I don't deserve this. You look perfect tonight." This shows he feels lucky to have found such a perfect love. It's a very humble and sweet thing to say. Did you know that Perfect has become a popular song for weddings? Many couples choose this song for their first dance as husband and wife. I think it's a wonderful choice because it's about finding your perfect match in life. Before Ed Sheeran wrote Perfect, he wrote another famous song called Thinking Out Loud. This song is also very popular at weddings. Ed said that he wanted Perfect to be even better than Thinking Out Loud. He wanted to write the best love song of his career. Many people think he has succeeded. Ed Sheeran plays many instruments in his songs. In Perfect, he plays the guitar, the piano, and the percussion. He is very talented. The song also has violins and other string instruments that make it sound very beautiful and emotional. The Divide album, which includes Perfect, was a huge success. It won the Grammy Award for Best Pop Vocal Album in 2018. The album sold millions of copies around the world. Perfect was one of the biggest hits from this album. When Ed Sheeran performs Perfect live, he usually plays it on his acoustic guitar. Sometimes he uses a loop pedal to add more layers to the song. A loop pedal is a special machine that records what you play and then plays it back in a loop. This lets Ed sound like many musicians playing at once, even though he is alone on stage. Some interesting facts about Ed Sheeran. He was born on February 17, 1991 in Halifax, England. He started playing the guitar when he was very young. When he was a teenager, he moved to London to pursue his music career. Before he became famous, he played in small venues and on the streets. He released his first album, Plus, in 2011. Since then, he has become one of the most successful musicians in the world. In 2017, Ed appeared in the TV show Game of Thrones. This is a very popular fantasy series. Ed had a small role as a soldier. In the scene, he sings a song. Many fans of the series were surprised to see Ed Sheeran acting. Ed is known for his friendly and humble personality. Despite being very famous, he still seems like a normal, nice person. He often wears simple clothes like t-shirts and jeans. He doesn't try to look like a typical pop star. Many people like him because he seems real and authentic. The success of Perfect helped Ed Sheeran's album Divide to break many records. In the UK, all 16 songs from the album entered the top 20 of the single charts in the same week. This had never happened before. The album also broke the record for most streamed in a single week on Spotify. Perfect was certified diamond in the United States. This means it sold over 10 million copies. Very few songs achieve this level of success. The song was also certified multi-platinum in many other countries, including UK, Australia, Canada, and Italy. In 2018, Ed Sheeran was named the highest earning solo musician in the world. He earned about 110 million that year. Much of this success was due to his Divide tour and popularity of the songs like Perfect. The lyrics in Perfect are very poetic. Ed says he found the inspiration from a classic love song. He wanted to write a song that would still be popular many years in the future. It seems like he succeeded because Perfect is still loved by many people today. Some music critics have analyzed why Perfect is so popular. They say it has a simple but beautiful melody that is easy to remember. The lyrics are romantic without being too complicated. All the elements together create a song that many people connect with. Ed Sheeran says that Perfect is one of his favorite songs that he has written. He feels proud that it has touched so many people's hearts. In interviews, he often mentions how special this song is to him because it's about his real love story with Cherry. Another interesting fact about Perfect is that it was the Christmas #1 song in the UK charts in 2017. The Christmas #1 is a big tradition in the UK. Every year there is a competition to see which song will be at the top of the charts on Christmas Day. The Perfect Symphony version with Andrea Bocelli helped Ed win this special honor. Ed Sheeran has performed Perfect on many TV shows and special events. One memorable performance was at the 2017 Capital FM Jingle Bell Ball in London. He performed in front of thousands of fans who sang along with every word. He also performed the song at the BBC's Glastonbury Festival, one of the biggest music festivals in the world. The sheet music for Perfect has become one of the best-selling pieces of sheet music in recent years. Many piano students and guitar students want to learn how to play this beautiful song. There are also many tutorial videos online that teach people how to play Perfect on different instruments. The popularity of Perfect helped increase tourism to the location where the music video was filmed. The ski resort in Austria became more popular after fans saw the beautiful snowy scenes in the video. Some couples even travel there to recreate romantic moments from the video. In Japan, Perfect was used in a popular TV drama called Crisis, Public Security Special Investigation Unit. This helped make the song very popular in Japan. It reached #1 on Japanese download charts and stayed there for many weeks. Ed Sheeran has said that writing love songs like Perfect is easier when you are truly in love. Before he met Cherry, he found it harder to write romantic songs. Now that he has found his perfect love, the words come more naturally to him. This shows how personal experiences can inspire beautiful art. Some fans have created their own versions of Perfect. There are many cover versions on YouTube, some with millions of views. People sing it in different languages, play it on different instruments, and add their own style to the song. This shows how the song connects with people all over the world. Music teachers often use Perfect as an example of good songwriting. The song has a clear structure with verses, chorus, and a bridge. It builds emotionally throughout, with the final chorus being the most powerful. These are classic songwriting techniques that Ed Sheeran uses very effectively. The song continues to be popular years after it's released. While many pop songs are forgotten quickly, Perfect has shown staying power. It is still played on the radio stations, used in weddings, and streamed millions of times every month. This suggests that it may become one of those timeless love songs that people will enjoy for generations. Music is a wonderful way to express feelings, isn't it? Sometimes when words are difficult, music can say everything. That's why people love songs like Perfect. Now, let's check on your understanding. Answer these questions. Who did Ed Sheeran write the song Perfect for? He wrote this song for his girlfriend, now wife, Cherry Seaborn. Where was the music video Perfect filmed? It was filmed in a ski resort in Hintertux, Austria. Which two famous singers recorded special versions of Perfect with Ed Sheeran? Ed Sheeran recorded Perfect Duet with Beyoncé and Perfect Symphony with Andrea Bocelli. What inspired Ed Sheeran to write Perfect? Ed was inspired by a romantic trip to Ibiza with Cherry, where they danced under the stars. How many copies of Perfect were sold in the United States? Perfect sold over 10 million copies in the United States and was certified diamond. If You have answered correctly to all the questions. You have done a very good job. Keep working and see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to this slow English listening for beginners. Today's topic is my favorite animated movie. After the story, I will ask you some questions to check on your understanding. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just focus on the key information. I suggest you listen to this video carefully, at least 3 times, to improve your understanding skills. Are you ready? Let's begin. My favorite animated movie is Coco. Coco is a movie from Disney and Pixar. It came out in 2017. The story happens in Mexico during a special holiday. This holiday is called Day of the Dead or Dia de los Muertos in Spanish. This holiday is in November. People remember family members who died. They put up photos and special food. Let me tell you about the story. The main character is a boy. His name is Miguel. Miguel is 12 years old. He has black hair and brown eyes. He wears a red hoodie. Miguel lives with his big family in a small town in Mexico. His family makes shoes. They have a shoe shop. Miguel loves music very much. He wants to be a musician. He likes to play the guitar. He watches old videos of a famous musician. This musician is Ernesto de la Cruz. Miguel practices guitar in secret, but his family does not like music. They don't want Miguel to play music. Music is not allowed in his house. Why does Miguel's family hate music? Because of an old story. Miguel's great-great-grandmother was married to a musician. This musician left his family to play music. He never came back. So Miguel's family hates music. They think music is bad. Miguel's grandmother, Abuelita, is strict. She breaks Miguel's guitar one day. Miguel is very sad. He needs a guitar for a music contest. The contest is on the Day of the Dead. One day, Miguel finds an old photo. In this photo, he sees his great-great-grandmother. She is with a little girl. This little girl is Coco, Miguel's great-grandmother. Coco is now very old. She cannot remember things. In the photo, part of the picture is missing. The face of the man is torn off. Miguel thinks this man is Ernesto de la Cruz. He thinks Ernesto is his great-great-grandfather. On the Day of the Dead, Miguel's family makes an altar. This is a special table with photos of dead family members. Miguel sees that the photo of his great-great-grandmother has a guitar. It is the same guitar that Ernesto de la Cruz plays in his movies. Miguel decides to borrow this guitar. It is in Ernesto's tomb. When he takes the guitar and plays it, something magical happens. Miguel becomes invisible to living people, but he can see dead people. These are spirits who come back on the Day of the Dead. Miguel goes to the land of the dead. This place is colorful, where dead people live. The land of the dead is amazing. It has tall buildings with bright colors. There are flying animals. They are spirit guides. There is also a big bridge made of orange flower petals. This bridge connects the land of the dead to the world of the living. In the land of the dead, Miguel meets his dead family members. He meets his great-great-grandmother, Imelda. She is not happy that Miguel is there. She says Miguel must go back to the living world before sunrise. If not, he will stay dead forever. To go back, Miguel needs a blessing from his family. But Imelda says he must promise never to play music again. Miguel does not want to promise this. Miguel also meets a funny man named Hector. Hector looks poor. His clothes are old. He wants to visit the living world, but he cannot. No one put his photo on an altar. Hector helps Miguel find Ernesto de la Cruz. Hector says he knows Ernesto. Miguel and Hector have many adventures. They enter a music contest. They win. Then they go to Ernesto's big party. Ernesto lives in a big mansion. He is very famous in the land of the dead too. When Miguel meets Ernesto, he is very happy. He thinks Ernesto is his great-great-grandfather. Ernesto is nice to Miguel at first, but then Miguel learns the truth. Ernesto is not his great-great-grandfather. Hector is his great-great-grandfather. And Hector did not leave his family. He wanted to come back to them, but Ernesto did something very bad. He poisoned Hector and stole his songs. Miguel also learns that Hector wrote the song Remember Me. This is Ernesto's most famous song, but Hector wrote it for his daughter Coco. It was a lullaby, a song to help her sleep. Miguel must tell everyone the truth about Ernesto. He must also help Hector see his daughter Coco one more time. Coco is the only living person who remembers Hector. If Coco forgets Hector, he will disappear forever. This is called the final death. Miguel gets back to the living world. He plays Remember Me for Coco. Coco remembers her father, Hector. She shows everyone the missing part of the photo. It is Hector. She also has letters from Hector. These letters prove that Hector wrote the songs that Ernesto stole. In the end, Miguel's family accepts music again. They learn that Hector loved his family. Music brings the family together. Miguel becomes a musician, but he also values his family. The movie has beautiful colors. The animation is amazing. The music is very nice too. There are happy songs and sad songs. One famous song is Remember Me. Another good song is Un poco loco. I like Coco because it talks about family and following your dreams. It shows Mexican culture. The movie makes me happy and sad. Sometimes I cry when I watch it. The story teaches us that we should remember our family. It also teaches us to follow our dreams. If you have not seen Coco, I recommend it. It is good for children and for adults. You can learn some English words too, and also learn about Mexican traditions. The movie won many awards. It won 2 Oscars. one for Best Animated Features and one for Best Original Song. Now, I want to tell you more about the Day of the Dead. This is a very important holiday in Mexico. The Day of the Dead is not like Halloween. It is not scary. It is a happy celebration. People believe that on this day, the spirits of dead family members come back to visit. Families prepare for this holiday special decorations. They make altars in their homes. These altars have many things. They have photos of dead family members. They also have candles, flowers, and food. The flowers are called marigolds. They are bright orange. People believe these flowers guide the spirits home. The food on the altar is special too. There is a bread called pan de muerto, or bread of the dead. This is sweet bread with sugar on top. There are also sugar skulls. These are colorful and decorated. People put the favorite foods and drinks in their dead family members on altar too. In the movie Coco, we see many Day of the Dead traditions. We see the altars. We see orange flower petals. We also see sugar skulls. The movie shows how important this holiday is for Mexican families. The artists who made Coco visited Mexico many times. They wanted to show Mexican culture correctly. They talked to many Mexican families. They learned about the Day of the Dead. They also learned about Mexican music and art. The movie took 6 years to make. The movie Coco teaches us many things. It teaches us that family is very important. It teaches us that we should remember our ancestors. It also teaches us that following our dreams is good, but we should not forget our family. In conclusion, Coco is my favorite animated movie because it has a beautiful story, great music, and amazing animation. Now, let's check on your understanding. Answer these questions. Who is the main character in Coco? And how old is he? The main character is Miguel. He is 12 years old. Why does Miguel's family not like music? Because Miguel's great-great-grandmother was married to a musician who left his family. What does Miguel's family make for work? Miguel's family makes shoes. What is one famous song from the movie? A famous song from the movie is Remember Me or Un poco loco. What is the name of Miguel's great-grandmother? Miguel's great-grandmother is named Coco. If you have answered correctly to all the questions, you have done a very good job. Keep working and see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to English with Maria and this slow English listening for beginners. Today's topic is my favorite painter, Vincent van Gogh. This story will help you learn about art and painting words like artist, painter, nature words like stars, sky, places and buildings like town, houses. During the story, I will ask you some questions to check on your understanding. There will be 3 checkpoints through the listening. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications so you never miss a lesson. Are you ready? Let's start. My favorite artist is Vincent van Gogh. He was from Holland, a country in Europe. Van Gogh lived a long time ago. He was born in 1853 and died in 1890. That means he lived only 37 years. This is very sad because his life was short, but he created many beautiful paintings. Van Gogh was not famous when he was alive. In fact, he was very poor. He only sold 1 painting during his life. Now, he is one of the most famous artists in the world. Sometimes good things take time to be recognized. Vincent had a difficult life. He was often sick and sad. He had problems with his mind and his emotions. But when he painted, he felt better. Art was his way to express his feelings and to show the world how he saw things. Van Gogh painted many beautiful pictures during his short life. He created more than 2,000 paintings and drawings. He painted very fast because he had so many ideas in his head. He used bright colors like yellow, blue, green, red, and orange. His paintings are very special because you can see the brush strokes. This means you can see exactly where he put the paint on the canvas. Vincent painted many different subjects. He painted flowers, especially sunflowers. He painted people, including many self-portraits. A self-portrait is when an artist paints a picture of himself. He also painted landscapes, which are pictures of nature, like fields, trees, and skies. He painted scenes from everyday life, like people working in the fields or sitting in a cafe. Checkpoint 1. Answer these questions. Where was Vincent van Gogh from? France or Holland? Holland. How many paintings did Van Gogh sell during his lifetime? None, 0, or 1? 1. How many paintings and drawings did Van Gogh create? More than 2,000? More than 3,000? More than 2,000. Let's continue. Now, let me tell you about my favorite painting by Van Gogh. It is called The Starry Night. He painted this masterpiece in 1889. This painting shows a small town at night. There are houses with lights in the windows. There is also a church with a tall tower pointing up to the sky. Above the town, there is the most beautiful sky you have ever seen. It is full of stars that look like they are moving in circles. The stars are bright yellow and white. They look alive, like they are dancing in the sky. There are also moving clouds that circle across the dark blue sky. In front of the painting, there is a big, dark tree. This tree is very tall and reaches to the top of the painting. The tree looks like it's moving in the wind. Some people think it looks like a flame reaching up to the sky. I love this painting for many reasons. First, the colors are absolutely amazing. The deep blue night sky mixed with the bright yellow stars creates a beautiful contrast. The painting makes me think about the mystery of the night and the beauty of nature. When I look at the starry night, I feel many emotions. Sometimes I feel peaceful, like I'm looking at the night sky from my window. Sometimes I feel excited because the stars seem to be moving and dancing. The painting makes me think about dreams and imagination. Van Gogh painted the starry night when he was staying in a hospital in France. He was there because he was sick. He looked out of the window at night and saw the stars and the town below. But he didn't just paint exactly what he saw. He also painted what he felt in his heart and mind. This is what makes the painting so special. It shows both reality and emotion. The painting is not very big. It measures about 73 by 92 centimeters. But even though it is small, it has a big impact on people who see it. The painting is now in the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. This museum is called MoMA. Millions of people visit this museum every year just to see this famous painting. Checkpoint 2. Answer these questions. What is the name of my favorite painting by Vincent van Gogh? Sunflowers, The Starry Night, The Starry Night. Where is the Starry Night painting now? In France or in New York City? In New York City. When did Van Gogh paint The Starry Night? In 1889 or in 1890? In 1889. Let's continue. The Starry Night has become one of the most famous paintings in the world. You can find copies on postcards, posters, t-shirts, and many other things. Many artists have been inspired by this painting and have created their own version of it. But Van Gogh created many other beautiful paintings too. Another famous painting is called Sunflowers. He actually painted several pictures of sunflowers because he loved these bright, happy flowers. These paintings show big yellow sunflowers in vases. The flowers look so real that you can almost think you can smell them. Van Gogh also painted the bedroom, which shows his simple room in France. In this painting, you can see his bed, a chair, some pictures on the wall, and his clothes. The colors are soft and calm. This painting shows us how Van Gogh lived, very simply, without many possessions. Another interesting painting is Cafe Terrace at Night. This painting shows people sitting outside in a cafe in the evening. The cafe has bright yellow lights and you can see people enjoying their dinner and drinks. Above them is a beautiful night sky full of stars. This painting shows that Van Gogh loved to paint scenes from everyday life. Van Gogh's brother was named Theo. Theo was very important in Vincent's life. Theo worked in an art gallery and sold paintings by other artists. He always supported Vincent and sent him money to buy paint and canvases. Without Theo's help, Vincent could not have painted so many pictures. Vincent wrote many letters to Theo, and these letters helped us understand how Vincent felt about his art and his life. Art is very important in the world. It helps us see things in new ways. It shows us the beauty around us that we sometimes don't notice. Van Gogh's paintings teach us to look carefully at nature, at the stars, the flowers, the trees, and the people around us. Van Gogh's story teaches us never to give up on our dreams. Even though he was not successful during his life, he continued to paint because he loved it. He believed in his art, and now millions of people love his paintings. This shows us that sometimes we have to be patient and keep working on what we love. In conclusion, Vincent van Gogh is my favorite artist because his paintings are full of emotion and beauty. The Starry Night is my favorite painting because it combines reality with dreams and imagination. When I look at it, I feel connected to something bigger than myself, to the beauty of the universe, and to the power of human creativity. Checkpoint 3. Answer these questions. What was the name of Van Gogh's brother? Paul? Theo? Theo. What did Van Gogh's brother do for work? He worked in an art gallery, or He was a teacher. He worked in an art gallery. What does Van Gogh's story teach us? To never give up on our dreams or to be famous quickly? To never give up on our dreams. Let's do a recap of what we have learned today. Art and painting words. Artist, painter, painting, canvas, brush, paint. Nature words. Stars, sky, tree, flowers, sunflowers, clouds, landscape. Places and buildings. Town, houses, church, tower, hospital, and cafe. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, English with Maria, and turn on the notifications so you never miss a lesson. See you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, and welcome to English with Maria and this slow English listening for beginners. Today's topic is At the Doctor. This story will help you learn about body parts like head, throat, medical terms like doctor or nurse, symptoms like headache, sore throat, and some useful phrases like I need to make an appointment or I don't feel well. During the story, I will ask you some questions to check on your understanding. There will be 3 checkpoints through the listening. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications so you never miss a lesson. Are you ready? Let's begin. Last week, I felt very sick. I had a headache and a sore throat. My husband said, Maria, you need to see a doctor. I called the doctor's office. The receptionist answered the phone. She was very kind. I said, hello, I need to make an appointment with Dr. Smith. The receptionist asked me, what's your name? I said, my name is Maria. She asked me, what's the problem? I said, I have a headache and a sore throat. The receptionist looked at the calendar. She said, Dr. Smith is free tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. Is that good for you? I said, yes, that's perfect. Thank you very much. She said, please bring your health card and arrive 15 minutes early. I wrote the time on my calendar. Tuesday, 10 a.m. The next morning, I woke up early. I still felt sick. My head hurt and my throat was very sore. I couldn't eat breakfast because it was difficult to swallow. My husband drove me to the doctor's office. The office was clean and white. There were many chairs in the waiting room. I went to the reception desk. I gave my health card to the receptionist. She smiled and said, "Please sit down and wait. Dr. Smith will see you soon." I sat in a comfortable chair and looked at magazines. There were other patients in the waiting room. Some looked sick. Some looked tired. Checkpoint 1. Answer these questions. Why did I need to see a doctor? I had a headache and a sore throat, or I had a fever. I had a headache and a sore throat. When was the appointment? Monday at 9 or Tuesday at 10? It was Tuesday at 10. What did the receptionist ask me to bring? My passport or my health card? My health card. Very good. Let's continue. After 20 minutes, a nurse called my name. Maria, she said. I stood up and followed her. The nurse was wearing a white uniform. She was friendly and smiled at me. We walked down the long hallway with many doors. The nurse took me to a small room. She said, "Please sit on this bed." The bed had white paper on it. The room was very clean. There was a desk, a chair, and a computer. On the walls, there were pictures of human body. The nurse asked me some questions. How old are you, Maria? I said, I'm 42 years old. Then she asked, how much do you weigh? I said, I weigh 55 kilograms. She wrote everything on a piece of paper. Then she said, Dr. Smith will be here in a few minutes. Dr. Smith came into the room. He was a very tall man with gray hair and glasses. He smiled and said, Hello, Maria. I'm Dr. Smith. How are you feeling today? I said, Not very good, doctor. I feel sick. Dr. Smith sat on his chair and looked at his computer. He read my information. Then he asked me, when did you start feeling sick? I said, 3 days ago. He asked, do you have a fever? I said, I don't know. I feel hot sometimes. He asked me, does your head hurt? I said, yes, it hurts a lot. He asked, can you swallow easily? I said, no, it is very difficult and painful. Dr. Smith listened carefully to all my answers. He wrote notes on his computer. Then he said, now I need to examine you. Don't worry, it won't hurt. I felt a little nervous, but Dr. Smith was very kind and gentle. Checkpoint 2. Answer these questions. What color was the nurse's uniform? Green or white? It was white. How old am I? 42 or 32? I am 42 years old. How long have I been feeling sick? 3 days or 4 days? 3 days. Let's continue. Dr. Smith stood up and washed his hands. He put on plastic gloves. He said, first, I will check your temperature. He put a small thermometer in my ear. After a few seconds, it made a beeping sound. Doo, doo, doo. You have a fever, he said. Your temperature is 38.5 degrees. Then Dr. Smith said, open your mouth, please. I opened my mouth wide. He used a small flashlight to look inside. He also used a wooden stick to look at my throat. Your throat is very red, he said. It looks infected. Next, he listened to my heart and lungs. He used a stethoscope. Take a deep breath, he said. I breathed in and out slowly. He moved the stethoscope to different places on my chest and back. Your heart and lungs sound good, he said. Dr. Smith touched my neck gently. He was checking my lymph nodes. These are little swollen, he said. This is normal when you have a throat infection. Then he looked in my ears with a special light. Your ears look fine, he said. After the examination, Dr. Smith sat down and typed on his computer. He said, Maria, you have a throat infection. This is very common. I will give you some medicine to help you feel better. He printed a prescription on white paper. Take these antibiotics 3 times a day for 7 days, he said. Take them with food. Also, drink lots of water and get plenty of rest. He gave me the paper. You should feel better in 2 or 3 days. I said, "Thank you, Dr. Smith." He smiled and said, "You're welcome. Take care of yourself." The nurse walked me back to the waiting room. My husband was waiting for me. We went to the pharmacy to buy the medicine. 2 days later, I felt much better. My throat didn't hurt anymore, and my headache was gone. I was happy that I went to see Dr. Smith. He helped me get better quickly. Checkpoint 3. Answer these questions. What was my temperature? 38.5 degrees or 39.5 degrees? It was 38.5. How many times a day should I take my medicine? 2 times or 3 times? 3 times a day. How long did it take me to feel better? 2 days or 3 days? Just 2 days. Let's do a recap of what we learned today. Body parts: head, throat, ear, chest, neck. Now let's see some medical terms. Doctor, nurse, appointment, prescription, medicine or antibiotics, temperature, fever, infection. Let's look at some symptoms. Headache, sore throat, hurt, pain, sick, tired. At last, let's take a look at some useful phrases. I need to make an appointment. I don't feel well. It hurts. Take a deep breath. Take care of yourself. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications so you never miss a lesson. See you next time. Bye-bye.